Good morning, everyone. My name is Venkat Sayarya Sengasetti. I'm pursuing my degree and the course name is Tourism Management. Now I'm going to explain about transformation of experiences in tourism. Transformation of experiences of tourism showing the theory case in three real world cases and recommendations for entrepreneurs and policymakers. Now I'm going to say about the transformation of experiences presentation in next slide. Now, going through the introduction about the roadmap, the today's journey, now going to explain about this. I will start with the introduction and theoretical foundation, then present three case studies: Burning Man, a yoga retreat, Blue Spirit, and the Osa Peninsula in Costa Rica. As an example of regenerative tourism after the cases, I'll present the best practices, opportunities, and challenges, implications for business models, and finish with recommendations. Now, these are the key theories and the frameworks as I said before. Three case studies: Burning Man, Spirit, Yoga Retreat, Osa Peninsula. Best practices, opportunities, and challenges, implications for the entrepreneurships. Conclusions and the recommendations are in the next slides. Now, I'm going to say why did I choose the transformation experiences. Transformation experiences are those lead to the meaningful long-term change in participants, perspectives, value, or behaviors, according at Amora, etc. At 2023, these experiences integrate emotional, cognitive, and social process and are increased value in the experiences economy. Roshni, example, the 2022 org that such experiences produce strong loyalty and social impact compared to standard tourism products. This significance creates opportunities for entrepreneurs who can design ethically robust, measurable, and scalable offerings. Now, I'm going to explain about the theories and the frameworks of theoretical foundations. Three key theoretical strands guides this field. First, transformative learning theory, which explains how reflection, transformative, and disaggregating dilemmas can change beliefs and behavior. Kunwar and ULAK 2024. Second, Gelter's total experience management model at 2015 propose layered design, sensory social, and meaning making elements. Third, Amara example at 2023 highlights a managerial perspective, designing interventions that balance consumer experience and operational feasibility through these frameworks helps practitioners design experience that are both impactful and implementable. Going to the next slide, now I'm going to explain about drivers and enablers of transformation experiences. Drivers include authenticity, co-creation, liminality, temporary suspension of social norms, and facilitated reflection. Technology plays a role in enabling personalization and wider access. Entrepreneurs can leverage digital tools but must avoid commodifying depth of the scale. Going to the next slide, now I'm going to explain you about design elements of transformation experiences. Structured learning activities, ritual storytelling, and embodied practices, stakeholder engagement, and participatory co-creations, sustainability and regeneration embedded into the experiences. Now I'm going to explain it in the brief way. Whereas design elements for transformation programs include structured rituals, guide reflection, embodied practices such as yoga or outdoor challenge, and narrative framing. Stakeholder engagement, especially with local communities, is essential for legitimacy and sustainability. Measurement frameworks commodifying qualitative and quantitative approaches should be planned early. Coming to the next slide, now I'm going to explain about the case study of one Burning Man in Nevada, USA. Overview: in the large scale temporary city emphasizing self expression, gifting, and participation. Why transformational? Liminal environment, communal rituals, creative agency, critical analysis, high impact, inclusivity, questions environmental footprint versus regeneration initiatives. Burning Man is a useful high profile example in temporary city of structure, emphasis on participation and ritual and boundary crossing norms, create liminal conditions conducive to personal transformation. Critical points include accessibility, high environmental footprint, and questions of inclusivity. Entrepreneurs can learn from Burning Man's community governance and experiential design while avoiding its scale driven impacts. Coming to the example 2, now I'm going to explain about the case study 2, Blue Spirit Yoga Retreat. Overviewing the established yoga and wellness retreat offering immersive program and workshops. Why transformational? Because it is facilitated reflection, embedded practices, community building. For example, in a places like Konwar and Ulak in 2024, critical analysis, accessibility, commodification risks, measuring outcomes of the practices. Blue Spirit explosives structured, embodied practices combined with reflective facilitation. Retreats of offer intensive practices that with can catalyze behavior change. However, there is a tensions exclusively due to cost, risk of commodification or spiritual practices and difficulties in measuring long-term outcomes. Entrepreneur should design tiered access and post-treated follow-up to increase impact. Going to the next slide. Now I'm going to explain about the case study 3 which we have chosen Osa Peninsula regenerative tourism. Overviewing destination, level shift to conservation-led tourism, community engagement and regenerative practices. Why transformation? Place-based learning long-term community change. Critical analysis, balancing economic benefits, carrying capability and community ownership. The Osa Peninsula is a Costa Rica is a destination level example where conservation led tourism creates opportunity for place based transformation. Here, long term community engagement, regenerative practices, and destination stewardship produce both visitor transformation and local benefits. Challenges remain around carrying capacity and ensuring equitable benefit distribution. Moving on to the next slide, after explaining you 3 examples, now I am going to say the best practices, examples, and design principles. Consistently follow a few core principles highlighted in the literature. Firstly, is designing for liminality and reflection transformational experiences work best when participants are deliberately taken out of their everyday routines and placed in a space that encourages pause, introspection, and meaning making. Gelter 2015 explains that transformation rarely occurs during the activity itself, but rather in moments of reflection before, during, and after the experiences. This is why structured reflection, such as guided journaling, facilitated discussions, or post experiences integration sessions, is essential. Second best practices, now I'm going to say, like emphasize regeneration and local co benefits amoro stress the transformational experiences should not only benefit the participant but also actively contribute to social, cultural, and environmental well being of host communities. This includes using local facilitators, reinvesting profits into community projects, respecting indigenous knowledge, and ensuring that tourism or wellness activities enhance rather than extract from local context. Third, there is growing agreement on the need for mixed method measurement. Quantitative tools like well-being scales or satisfaction surveys should be combined with qualitative methods such as interviews, storytelling, and reflective narratives. This layered approach allows business to capture both measurable outcomes and deeper personal change. Finally, piloting and iterative feedback are critical rather than launching large scale programs. Immediately, success ventures test smaller pilots, gather participant and communicative feedback, refine the experience, and then scale responsibly. Both Gelter and Amara emphasize the transformational experiences must be managed, layered, and continuously evaluated. Like as I said, design for liminality, safe, structured departure, measure outcomes, pre-post reflection, qualitative narrates and behavioring indicates, embed sustainability and community co-benefits. Coming to the next slide, now I'm going to explain about the opportunities and challenges for entrepreneurs. Entrepreneurs operating in this space face significant opportunities but also serious challenges. In terms of opportunity, one key area is niche premium markets. Many consumers are now willing to pay higher prices for experience the promise personal growth, well-being or purpose rather than pure leisure. This creates high strong potential for retreats, immersive learning journeys, wellness programs, and purpose driven travel. Like as I said in the explained before, distribution and partnership variates from 2022 Sharma example at 2024. Challenges authenticity versus scale, regularity issues, environmental limits, ethical responsibility, recommendations, blended revenue models, stakeholder governance, ethical design frameworks. In terms of opportunity, another opportunity lies in digital distribution, hybrid models combining physical experiences with digital preparation. Online communities or post experience coaching allow entrepreneurs to extend the value of transformation beyond a single event. This also improves scalability and customers' lifetime value. There is also increasing scope for social enterprise models where profit is balanced with measurable social and environmental impact. These models appeal strongly to ethically conscious consumers and impact investors. However, these opportunities come with challenges. One major issue is ethical responsibility. Entrepreneurs must avoid exploiting vulnerable participants or commodifying spiritually, culture, or trauma. Roshni at 2020 warned that poorly managed transformational experiences can cause emotional harm or cultural disruption. Another challenge is regulation and legitimacy. Many transformational services operate in gray areas with limited oversight, raising concerns around safety, accountability, and consumer protection. Authenticity preservation is also difficult at scale. As experiences grow commercially, there is a risk of dilution, standardization of primitive transformation. Finally, environmental limits must be respected, especially in nature based experiences, where overuse can damage fragile ecosystem. To address these challenges, the literature recommends transparent governance, strong stakeholder partnerships, and blended revenue models that balance commercial success with long term responsibility. So, coming to the next slide, implications for business models and policy. These findings have clear implications for both business models and public policy. From a business perspective, transformational experience ventures should move beyond one off transactions. Sustainable models often combine experience fees with community benefit sharing, ensuring that local stakeholders receive direct economic and social value. Many businesses are also being to offer measurement and evaluation service, helping participants and organizations track well-being, learning outcomes, or behavioral change over time. This is not only increases credibility but also creates additional revenue with streams. Another important element is long-term alumni engagement. Successful models build ongoing relations through follow-up programs, digital communities, mentorship, or written experiences. This reinforces transformation and strengthens brand loyalty. From a policy perspective, Leo and Co. at 2024 highlights the need for incentives that support regenerative practice such as tax benefit, grants, or certificates for ethical and sustainable experiences provides. Policy also plays a role in zoning and visitor follow management, particularly in destinations vulnerable to over tourism. Clear's framework can help project local environments and communities while allowing responsible innovation in the experiences economy. Now, finally, coming to the conclusion, the key takeaways. To conclude, transformational experience offers significant strategic value for entrepreneurs and destinations alike. They respond directly to contemporary consumer demand for meaning, well-being, and personal growth. However, their success depends on being ethical, measurable, and regenerative. Transformation should never be treated as a marketing claim alone. It must be intentionally designed, responsibly delivered, and rigorously evaluated. Based on this analysis, several key recommendations emerge for entrepreneurs. First, prototype before scaling, start small, test assumptions, and refine experiences based on real feedback from participants and communities. Second, partner with local stakeholders, co creation with local communities, facilitators, and cultural custodies is essential for authenticity and long term sustainability. Third, measure impact meaningfully. Combine quantitative metrics with qualitative insight to understand real transformation rather than surface reflex satisfaction. Finally, prioritize the accessibility and inclusion transformation experience should not be reserved only for a light audience but designed in the way that broaden access and social value. In summary, When thoughtfully designed and ethically governed, transformation experiences can create a value of individuals, business, communities, and society as a whole. Thank you.